Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
So your boy Diddy is sick and tired of the sick and tired. He is suing you, and you too.
Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh?
Diddy claims that Courtney Burgess, attorney Ariel Mitchell, and Nexstar Media Inc., also known as NewsNation, has willfully planned a scheme to fabricate and broadcast outrageous lies against Mr. Combs.
Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or into the influence?
All of them.
And then leverages those falsehoods to gain social media fame, enrich themselves, and strip Mr. Combs of his reputation, livelihood, and rights to a fair trial. Diddy feels that out of all of his accusers, attorney Ariel Mitchell and Courtney Burgess are amongst the worst perpetrators, being that they're vying to outdo each other in a shameless competition to draw attention to themselves with no regard to the truth. Now, attorney Ariel Mitchell has come forward with an accuser by the name of Ashley Parham, who states that Diddy essayed her back in 2018. Now, we read this lawsuit on this channel a couple of months ago, and Ashley stated that Diddy overheard her say on a phone call that Diddy was the reason for Tupac's unaliving. Not too long after that, a mutual friend of hers and Diddy's lured her over to the friend's home. Diddy popped up and everything went to hell afterwards. Allegedly, because I ain't got time, child. So we're going to speak about her interview and her lawsuit against Diddy for $50 million, as well as the lawsuit that Diddy took out against Ariel Mitchell, Courtney Burgess, and NewsNation. We're going to get into this story and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it.
I'm not gonna stay fucking lying down. I'm not. I can't do that, man. I can't do that.
So Diddy said it, he meant it, and he represented it. Yes, the lawsuits are piling up, but when you have money to spend, you can definitely fight them. Now, according to Diddy, defendant Courtney Burgess falsely claimed that he possessed videos of Mr. Combs involved in the essay of celebrities and minors. Now, Burgess repeated this false claim many times to anyone that would listen, including reporters for major news outlets, including NewsNation, which recklessly repeated and amplified his lies as if they were true. Thus, Burgess's baseless lies were rebroadcast on social and traditional media platforms that reach millions of viewers in the United States and abroad. Now, when it comes to attorney Ariel Mitchell, they said that she repeated those lies. Like Burgess, Mitchell knew that her client's claims were false or at minimum were utterly reckless in disregarding their falsity. Because no such tapes existed and because Mitchell never saw any videos depicting Mr. Combs sexually abusing anyone, adult or minor, Mitchell's many false assertions that Burgess possessed such video were either knowingly blatant falsehoods or reckless false statements made as the direct result of Mitchell's inexcusable failure to investigate her client's outrageous lies. So as you may recall, Courtney Burgess had several interviews where he claimed to possess flash drives containing at least 8 sex tapes involving high-profile individuals associated with Combs. He also alleged that some of the tapes involved minors, and that was a claim that sparked widespread concern. Now, according to Courtney, the tapes were handed to him by a mutual acquaintance of both him and Kim Porter, who happens to be Combs' former partner prior to her death, and they also have 3 children together. Now, he suggested that Kim intended for the content to be used as evidence against Combs. Not only that, Courtney claims that Kim Porter provided him with her diary entries, aka a manuscript that was in turn turned into a book entitled Kim's Lost Words. The book was an instant bestseller on Amazon. However, Kim's children denounced the book, forcing Amazon to take it off of its digital shelves. Now, Diddy insists that Courtney Burgess insinuated false claims about him within this memoir, as well as videos that Diddy claims do not exist that have put Diddy's life in danger. Now, within Diddy's lawsuit, he claims that upon information and belief, sometime around September 2024, Burgess contacted Mitchell seeking to team up with a lawyer in an attempt to legitimize and or profit from his outrageous lies. Now, Mitchell is a civil litigator at her eponymously named law firm. On her law firm's website, she boasts that her practice focuses on high-profile cases, including claims of SA perpetrated by a celebrity. Now, Diddy claims that in 2021, Mitchell brought a lawsuit lawsuit against both Diddy and Trey Songz on behalf of a woman that claimed she was essayed by Trey Songz. Now, in 2022, he states that a witness in that particular lawsuit testified that Mitchell tried to bribe her to lie about witnessing the purported assault and being assaulted herself. In or around 2022, Mitchell brought a $20 million lawsuit against rapper Chris Brown on behalf of a woman claiming Brown R''d her after Brown posted a series of text messages and voice messages reflecting a consensual relationship with the plaintiff. Mitchell withdrew. Lastly, in the summer of 2024, Mitchell filed lawsuits against plaintiff on behalf of an adult entertainer who alleged she had been sex trafficked by Mr. Combs. After filing the lawsuit, Mitchell launched a media tour in which she repeatedly promoted herself as an authority on the federal grand jury investigation into Mr. Combs, including in an interview with TMZ Live, during which Mitchell sat in front of a propped-up copy of an issue of Vibe magazine with Mr. Combs on the cover and represented that she would very shortly be in a position to comment on the investigation. Mitchell has brought at least 2 other lawsuits against Mr. Combs. To date, even though Mitchell has not served either of those lawsuits, she has spoken about them extensively to the media. In exchange for press appearances to discuss the allegations against Mr. Combs, Mitchell has demanded luxury accommodations, including first-class flights to New York City, a minimum 2-night stay at 4-star minimum hotels, on-site hair and makeup services, meals and snacks, and an unspecified materials fee. She has insisted, moreover, that such interviews must occur in New York City. So Diddy is pretty much calling her an expensive taste, highfalutin ambulance chaser. Now, Mitchell has claimed that she has been in review of evidence of a person on videotape with Diddy, and it doesn't seem like that person knows that they're being videotaped. Diddy states that these statements are false. Mitchell never possessed any pornographic images involving Mr. Combs and any other celebrity. She was never able to confirm the existence of such videos of Mr. Combs and another celebrity. And NewsNation, upon information and belief, never conducted any investigations before broadcasting these false allegations. Because of that, Diddy is filing a lawsuit against Nexstar Media Inc., also known as NewsNation, Courtney Burgess, and attorney Ariel Mitchell.
What did I say for you? Tell them to bring me my money.
Diddy is suing for $50 million. He wants his money. Now let's go on to the next case. Speaking of $50 million, there is a woman by the name of Ashley Parham who is currently being represented by Ariel Mitchell Kidd. Now, she states she was a victim of a brutal assault at the hands of Sean Diddy Combs, his right-hand girl, Christina Coram, who surprisingly has been as quiet as a church mouse. I'm starting to think she done went road runner on us and fled the country.
Christina! Christina's gone.
Ashley is also suing Shane Pierce, who happens to be a mutual acquaintance of hers and Sean P. Diddy Combs, as well as several John Does and a Jane Doe. According to Ashley, this case involves SA, battery, R, as abuse, false imprisonment, and kidnapping. In the interview with NewsNation, Ashley stated that she met Sean Combs through a mutual friend, Shane Pierce. Shane attempted to introduce the two via phone, but Ashley stated she was uninterested, stating Diddy was responsible for Tupac's unaliving. Well, Diddy wasn't happy with her response, and according to Ashley, Diddy and Shane devised a plan to get Ashley back. Ashley states that Shane summoned her to his home to help him open up his cancer medication, but while there, he ended up taking her for a ride in his new car. Not too long after returning back to the home, several people entered the home, one of those being Diddy. She states that Diddy and others took turns violently R-ing her, and Christina Coram attempted to put a copper IUD inside of her. Parham stated Diddy tried to offer her hush money, which she would not take, and then he said, "Why haven't we partied like this before?" She said that's when she got enraged. She says, "This is not a party. You R''d me. He attempted to bribe me with money, and I said, no, you R''d me. I'm not going to stay silent on this." Parham said Combs then called his mother on FaceTime, who yelled not to hurt her son. I yelled back, "He R''d me." She told me to take the money and shut up. Now, Parham stated that she slashed Diddy in the stomach with a knife, and gunshots began ringing out during that night. Now, she was able to escape to a neighbor's home because of noise complaints. She said the neighbor came by to see what was going on, and the bodyguard turned a gun on him and told him to go away. Parham said, but then he came back and created the distraction for for me to actually run. Parham said she ran towards the neighbor's house and then Combs allegedly started firing a gun at her. The neighbor jumped behind a car and she followed him to escape. According to Parham, the neighbor called the police, but when an officer showed up, he couldn't have cared less about what Parham said. She told the police officer that Sean Combs R''d her and he had just left. Now, she states that after speaking with the police, she went back to the scene of the crime to get her belongings, but they were no longer there. She acknowledges that her actions might not make sense to others. She says, I know that doesn't make any sense to people, but the Orinda Hills are incredibly dark and windy hills. The idea of running half naked down to police who weren't going to help me anyway wasn't going to happen. I just lost faith in humanity and just lied in bed until I fell asleep. Now, the Contra Costa County Sheriff Office released this statement. A report was taken on March 23, 2018. We take these cases seriously and detectives thoroughly investigated the accusations. It was later determined the claims were unfounded. Diddy's attorneys responded by saying, as the Contra Costa Sheriff's Department confirmed, her report was thoroughly investigated and it was determined the claims were unfounded. Mr. Combs was nowhere near Orinda, California on the day she claimed she was assaulted. Diddy's attorneys go on to say there is no evidence that Mr. Combs was ever in the same room as Ms. Parham. She is completely unbelievable and no sane person who views the evidence will credit her story. So it's another game of her word against his. Now, Ariel Mitchell did say she's in talks with the neighbor to try to get him to corroborate her client's story. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything now going on in the world of Diddy? Leave a comment and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. But before you go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.